Well, hello. This is Scott Johnson here. I'm coming to you from my front porch where people will walk by and wonder why I'm talking to a small black box. And to them I say, keep moving. Move along. You don't have to stay here, but you can't stay here. Was it? No. You can't stay here, but you better go home. How's it go? Oh, no, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. There you go. That's the one. That's the thing the kids are always saying. Anyway, in my continual effort to make these frequent, I appear before you again. We are now 4.5 days weaned off of Twitter, and I don't miss it. Now, let's be honest. Part of the reason I don't miss it is because I'm posting on Threads and Blue Sky, both. Or both, as I'm sometimes prone to say. And that is simulacrum? No, that is similar. Excuse me, to posting on the Twitter there. You know, these are all very similar services, clearly. And but what I'm finding is I prefer the algorithm happening over there on the on Threads. And you might say to yourself, I refuse to use anything Meta does. That's fine. I get it. Whatever. I mean, pick your poison, I guess. Which douchey company do you want to work for or use? Whose platform do you want? They're all lame, so I guess pick the least offensive one to you. Anyway. Somebody said it pretty well. I was having it was actually a DM conversation on Blue Sky, which now has private messages over there. And he said something like, he said, so you're off Twitter, how do you feel? And I said, I felt like I was in a bar that I used to think was cool, but now when I hang out in there, I realize the room's just full of, like, jerks and Nazis. And he says, yeah, I could see that. Plus, the bartender is only going to give you drinks he wants to give you. He's not giving you what you ordered. He's only going to give you stuff that he wants you to drink at the bar. That was enlightening, I think, what he said there. Anyway, I don't want to make this all about that again, but, quick update. I'm enjoying my time away. And it seems like the longer I'm away from it, the better I feel about it. Like anything, I guess, but... And I should, let's make this clear. If you are, some kind of freaking psychopath, I shouldn't say it that way. If you're somebody who really enjoys Twitter, keep enjoying it. Don't let me ruin your fun. I'm not here to tell you how to live or be or exist. I'm just here to tell you that what's working for me. So we'll see how that goes. Thinking a lot about mortality today. And some of you think that I do that a lot, but today, in particular, I'm just thinking about my mom in, mid-80s. That's, kind of up there, right? She survived COVID and survived last week's pneumonia. She got some pretty gnarly pneumonia that ended up at least contributing to, if not caused directly by, caused a collapsed portion of her lung. So her lower left lung, I think, was where the location was. It actually has a name. They told me at the hospital. I don't remember. But basically, it was like all smushed down and messed up. She wasn't getting the kind of oxygen she needed. So they have her on 24/7 oxygen now. Hopefully not forever, but, I have a feeling it'll probably be for a while, given the trauma that her lung went through. And, I feel bad because, nobody should have to go through that. But, she's at that age. And so I guess my thing is, I've been putting this off in my head, but that we're not that far from when I'm going to have to deal with this, I don't like thinking about it, but that day is coming, I hate to say this, but when my dad passed away suddenly at the age of 63 out of nowhere, none of us were happy, obviously, about that, but there was a part of it that I shouldn't say I wish for it, but he used to tell me this. When I was growing up, he'd always say, I don't want to die some slow, horrible way. I don't want to be in a bed with cancer for months and years. And I don't want to, I don't want to be burdens on other people. I don't want to be miserable. I don't want any of that stuff. I just want to just get taken. Just like whenever my day is, just poof, I'm out. And that's exactly what happened. One day he was there and the next day he was gone. And had no warning. And, from his perspective, it's probably not a bad way to go if you're going to go. He went too early. I mean, I don't like any of it, but that was what he wanted. And so in some ways I kind of respect that he kind of, he got that part that he wanted. Maybe a couple decades too soon. But I don't know. With my mom, she comes from good stock, you see. And she's, the worst things ever happened to her. She had that weird benign tumor growing in her head that just was getting bigger and bigger. A couple years ago, kind of early mid-pandemic era, and she had to have open brain surgery. They don't call it open brain surgery, do they? What am I thinking of? Open heart. What's just brain surgery, I guess. It's always open. Actually, why do they say open heart? Well, they just say heart surgery. There's a riddle. They call it open heart surgery. They don't do closed heart surgery, or do they? And if that's true, they probably do all the organs closed or open, depending on the deal, right? It's like a sandwich or an open face sandwich and a regular sandwich. Anyway, so she had brain surgery. They took out this giant softball-sized thing. Some of you have heard this story, so apologies for repeating it, but took it out of her head. It was about the size of an orange, and she not only survived that, she thrived through it, and did really well, and it was just sharp as a tack. She didn't, have any downsides from it after the surgery. Even before the surgery, it was just kind of making her sit in the corner and not talk to people. It was pressing on her frontal lobe, and she said she was having weird little visions and stuff, but she wasn't in pain or dizzy or sick or anything. She was just kind of moping around. And then that surgery got rid of that, and she came back to her full self, and she's just sharp as ever, funny, normal. She's still that way 2 years later or whatever it is now. So I think she's strong enough. She could keep going. I don't think this, I don't think it's tomorrow, but I have to start getting used to this idea that me and my sisters and my brother, I guess brothers, we would have to, we got to have a plan. We got to have a plan for what we would do in the event of it all. And we know what we're doing. Financially, we got all that worked out. She has, all that stuff sort of in order. We had a meeting about that recently, and that's all, good. And John's no spring chicken. He's pushing 93, 94, I forget. But same thing, guy lives forever. He's just he's got the genes that just make him just keep putting along. Still drives. Still, still sort of does everything, although he's going deaf and won't admit it. I can say that here because he'll never hear this because he's kind of deaf and he probably won't hear it anyway. Yeah, so I just thinking a lot about it. Because that day will come and we're going to have to like, oh, what do we, what did she want for a funeral? And how much pomp and circumstance do we give this? And does she want all that? And, I don't know, man. People, we're complicated. I think about that a lot. Weddings. Weddings is a real good example of what I'm getting at here. The way people go bananas over a wedding, they spend so much money, so much time, so much of their energy to make this big, huge, expensive blowout weekend thing. And then once it's over, it's done. And you're left with what? You're left with a big, hefty bill, and you're married, and it's just you're normal now. Just go to Walmart and do your shopping. Like, who are you now? What are you after that? You're not special anymore after that big weekend, And I swear, more often than not everybody, but most people I talk to, they almost all unanimously say, me included, that if they could do it over again, we would just elope and take that, whatever money we were going to spend on wedding, we'd take that and use it toward a down payment on a house, or, I don't know, better car, or just something. Better honeymoon, for that matter. And some people are rolling in money and they don't care, and whatever it costs, and that's fine. Do whatever, I'm not telling you how to spend your money. I'm just saying. Most people are just at the end of it like, well, all right, now we did that, then now what? And if you're too into the pageantry, then you will forget to just be normal after. You got to settle back into just being, hey, you're just a part of society. You're just a person out here getting the job done. You're not something special anymore. But I remember feeling that way. I was like, why are we doing this? And Kim and I have decided that the reason we were doing it wasn't for us. That wedding was never for us. I mean, it was technically and legally for us, but the whole rigmarole was for my parents and for her parents and for all this extended family and all these people that came to the wedding and all the stupid people in the line and all that stuff. No offense if you were in my line, but that's who it was for. And I don't know if they got what they wanted out of the deal. All right, there's a neighbor directly across the street from me. He is in his balcony, and he is laying what looks to me to be lacy women's underwear. Some call it panties on the balcony bar rail thing. Oh, I wish I could show you this. It's like, some of those are big. I mean, no offense. They're just very large. Also, I thought this dude was single. Okay, that's 4 pair now. And one of them's a bra. Oh, that's why that one looks so big. It's a bra. It's not a... Hold on. What is he putting there? Okay, he's got some kind of sock, but just one? I don't want to know what's going on over there. I have very small perspective on what this dude is doing, and I've only met him once. Anyway, what else is going on? We got our hockey team here, the Utah. We don't know what the name is yet. That hasn't been made official, but we think it'll either be Yeti, Blizzard, or the Utah. What was the other one? Mammoth. That might be one of the options. Personally, I'm pulling for Blizzard. I just think it sounds better when you say Utah Blizzard. It's the Utah Blizzard. That sounds good to me. Yeti's good if it's Salt Lake City. So then you say Salt Lake City Yeti. That sounds great. If you say Utah Yeti, it sounds stupid. Utah Yeti. Utah Yeti. I hate it. So I don't like that. But Utah Mammoth or Salt Lake Mammoth, either of those work. The side benefit of it being the Blizzard is if they automatically get the 2 Z's in there, like the Jazz Z's, which everybody for a long time, that was the thing to do. So we have the Utah Jazz, 2 Z's. We have the Grizzlies, which is our minor league hockey team. They have 2 Z's. The Buzz, 2 Z's. That's baseball. let's see. Well, before the Buzz, they were the Trappers, and they were co-owned. This fun fact: the Utah Trappers or Salt Lake Trappers, whatever they were called at the time. It's no longer the name of the team, but they were co-owned by Bill Murray, the actor Bill Murray. I don't know who his co-owner was, but he had a partner, and he would come out to games in like full uniform, and he would stand in the dugout and stuff like that. We used to love trying to get tickets because you never knew if Bill Murray was in town supporting his team that he owned. That's a fun little side note. Then they sold it, and for a while they were the Bees, and then the Buzz. Well, whatever. Either way, they liked it. People around here like to put Z's in their name to do the jazz thing, and so I think Blizzard would be great. Mammoth, you can't really work it to work that way. Yeti, same deal. There's no Z's in Yeti. Never forget, there are no Z's in Yeti. That's a good show title. That might be what I call this one today. And then lastly, the thing I wanted to... This is just kind of a check-in all over the place. I apologize for... There's no real message today, but I wanted to ask you guys for your feedback. Are you enjoying this new cadence of the show? That it's coming as regularly as it is, and that it is covering, I don't know, talking about stuff maybe you're interested in? If it is, then tell me. And the way you can tell me is either email me at scott@frogpants.com, or you can text me at 801-471-0462. Oh yeah, I promised last time I was going to read one or two of those. And I can do that right now. Look at this. We have the power. Hold on one sec here. Oh, there's a bunch of these in here. Okay, let's do this one. This is a text we got from Daryl. Daryl, long-time listener, first-time caller, first-time listener. Anyway, to a lot of your works, your vast amount of shows. Just wanted to give you and everyone an easy, give everyone a easy why to call, formerly known as Twitter. Call it X Twitter. I can't take credit for that. The Linus Tech Tips came up with it. But I think it fits and it's easier to say. X Twitter. Kind of like X Chicken in the X-Men arcade game. Well, thank you for that. I appreciate it. We got one here from, oh, this is interesting, on the Twitter thing as well. I didn't get a name here, but the person says, because of Diary 289, I have completely deactivated my Twitter X account. I use Mastodon more anyway. Thanks. Well, see what you get there. Look what I've done. I've created, some real stuff there. Let's see. Not that I want to, I don't want to be the thing that you guys all do. Okay, how about this one? James the Trucker. He wrote in, says, clearly from all of the interactions you've had, not all of the tadpole, but I'd say most of us are the weird ones. It's interesting. I'm a post and ghost kind of guy, so I naturally steer clear of most internet freakout, so I don't really know how pervasive it is most times. I do try to remember what Justin Robert Young once said, and I'm paraphrasing, quote, if you see it 3 times, you think it's everywhere. That doesn't mean it is, unquote. I agree, James. It's a good point. I think you're a really good point. I'm going to have to remember that more often. Thank you for that. For some reason, this won't let me... Can I move this? Sorry, the Gmail app, it's not great. It's okay. Can I unlabel it? There we go. Goodbye. And then, let's see, got another one here. How about this one? We'll read one more and then we'll get out of here. This is from Ardo. Was it Ardo? Oh, I'm sorry, this is Christine. She goes by Ardo. Or Erido. Eridow? Hello, listen to your latest diary episode about your trip to the zoo. This is a few episodes ago. First of all, super adorable listening to all the kids and you guys talking, great memories being recorded. Secondly, as someone who used to be employed as a zookeeper, I will happily talk to you about anything that could be going on behind the scenes. I don't know anything specific to the Holgel Zoo, but that's our local zoo. But I do have experience with how things work in a zoo-related field. I used to work in the Oklahoma City Zoo. That's a fairly big zoo, or, renowned zoo. Unfortunately, in general, it sounds like COVID hit them very, very hard, I was out of zookeeping by the time COVID hit, so I couldn't have direct experience on how it was. Excuse me. But I can tell you that it was not great for a lot of zoos because of finances. Zoo budgets tend to be very tight, as it is. There are no zoo guests there. There is no revenue there. I hope the Hogle Zoo can work things out, because I do know that it used to be a very good zoo, and I want to see it one day. But yeah, I can get more into the details if you ever want to know. Let me know, Christine. Well, Christine, thank you for the info. That was an email, by the way. I think the zoo's okay. They just don't seem to have some of the stuff they used to have. Again, whether it was a COVID thing or not, like I'd been to the zoo since COVID, and they had the bird show still, and they had the elephants and stuff, and that was after COVID, maybe a year and a half ago. And then this last trip, they had no elephants and these weird horses there instead that were still in the elephant pen. And then they changed the bird show to a dog show. Other than that, the whole thing's fine. The place is fine. But I don't know if that's budgetary. I don't know if that was like just, we want to do something new. Like, I really don't know what the deal was there. But love getting your emails and your texts. I got a few more here, but I'll save these for next time. And any new ones you guys send now. So 801-471-0462 or frogpants@gmail.com. No, that's wrong. Frogpants. No, what is my damn address? Scott@frogpants.com. Geez, Scott. Scott@frogpants.com. It's not hard. What's wrong with me? That's it. I'm out of here. Thank you guys so much for, just being around. I really appreciate it. Thanks for having this become my cathartic way of talking to you in a more personal, hangouty kind of way. It means a lot to me, and I look forward to doing more. See you next time, which will probably be tomorrow. Bye.
This show is part of the Frog Pants Network. Yes. Get more at frogpants.com.